Afternoon, everyone. Just wanted to jump on and do a reaction to the lots of news today from the UFC. Changed main events and upcoming fights that have been announced. So starting off with London in March, Leon's fights now against Sean Brady. Very different task to what he had at hand with Jack Della, much more of a striking fighter, Jack Della Madalena. So it'll be interesting to see if he can withstand someone who's going to be forcing takedowns a bit more like Belal was, rather than someone who's willing to stand and trade with him. Be interesting to see how the UFC goes with this division, because Shafkat's obviously waiting in the wings to face the winner of Belal and Jack Della. So would the winner of Leon and Sean Brady potentially face Ian Gary? That's the way I would look at it. And then maybe early 2026, the winner of that fight would fight the winner of Belal, Jack Della versus Shafkat, who's later on in the year. So that's something to think about for that division. Massive news that Ilya's vacated the title and going up to 155. I think Dana's seen the potential of a super fight, seen the dollar signs, and wouldn't surprise me if that fight's booked for International Fight Week in June, with John and Tom then headlining in MSG in November. I think there's a couple of fighters who I was expecting to see announcement for. So Dustin Poirier seems to be sort of just waiting around for a fight. And more big news today that Paddy Pimblett is fighting Michael Chandler in a 5-round co-main event, which is massive. That's a massive fight for Paddy. If he wins that fight, there's only one name he should be asking for. And now, like I just said, looking forward to potential Ilya and Islam in June. We all know the narrative between Paddy and Ilya, the history that they've got there, a bit of bad blood. Imagine if they both win their fights. Paddy beats Michael Chandler, and then Ilya beats Islam. There's only one person that Paddy will be calling for. It'll be a fight against Ilya Topuria. Just looking down the card for UFC 314, couple of big fights on there. Patricio Pitbull coming over, a veteran from Bellator, multiple weight champion, fighting Yair Rodriguez, which is a big test. That's a fight I'd really be watching out for on that card. Carlos Pratt, one of the fighting nerds, which means we've got Gian Silva's fighting this weekend in Seattle. We've got Rufi out 313 in Vegas against Bobby Green, and Pratt's out against Jeff Neal in 314. So there's only Kyle waiting for a fight now, really, and we'll get to see all the fighting nerds go again. This fight could take Pratt into the top 10, that division, which, you know, he's only going one way and that's up. What else we got? That card is actually stacked. There's a couple of people who Gilbert Burns has quite publicly said that he was wanted to fight on this card. He's not been announced yet whether they might push him back to International Fight Week for a fight there. But it's a really cool card. And other fights that were rumoured for this one were Pantoja and Kai Kara France. Not on there. Interesting. Where they'll slot in. And then we got a 315 announcement as well. Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot. The women's division's not the most exciting. The fight that I would like to see make there is Shevchenko against Zhang Weili. But if Shevchenko wins this fight, then who knows, that could be next. And obviously a British fan talking about women's MMA, it's Dakota Chambers looming in the PFL. She needs Dana needs to get the checkbook out and make an offer and mix that division right up. Bring in Dakota Dacheva and give her a fight in the UFC. Very interesting fight on 313, Diego Lopez against Volkanovski. Two of the most liked fighters in the featherweight division. Like, Diego Lopez, willing to fight anyone. I think there was like, I don't know, at UFC 303 there was an opponent, and then a different weight, and then another different weight, and then a new opponent 4 hours before the fight. He doesn't care. He doesn't care who's fighting. To be honest, after Volk's last few fights, I want to say I'm favouring Lopez there, but someone like Volkanovski, I think, with a full camp behind him, I think it's a closer fight than what people will think. Very much the old guard against the new generation, the changing of the guard, like one of my previous videos. This could be another changing of the guard. Will Volkanovski, after this fight, will he look to chase maybe some money fights against the likes of Dustin Poirier and the higher weights of this world, the Justin Gaethjes, the Max Holloways? I think I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway International Fight Week as maybe a retirement fight for Dustin Poirier. Lots of exciting stuff. We just need to get some of them announcements for later on in the year. Dana with a little tease that John Jones and Tom Aspinall is coming soon. We just want to know when.